I that's when I quit collecting. I think I got into girls.
Officially July
Yes,
1992. KMac got into
got
ladies.
into the ladies. Yes.
Because Yek was like, they made a Nomad series?
I need Nomad comic books. Here we go again. Welcome back to Comic Books and Cold Ones, everybody. It has been too long. If you don't remember, we are the beer podcast with a comic book problem. Here you will find that we talk all things comic books and we drink all things beer. I'm KMac. I'm one half of the hosts of the show, and I'm joined today by the one and only High Evolutionary, Mr.
Oh,
Evolutionary. Did I hit it right?
You stole mine that I was going to go with on you, and it was going to be the High KMac something
That's a
to
good
that
one.
effect. I was going to try to get something with your words in there, but you already took it away from me. So I'll just call you Kamundagor Mountain.
Oh, nice. And not Camagnus.
Magnus. Welcome back, everybody. We're pumped to be back in the saddle and drinking beers and talking comic books with you. And that's what we're about to do today. If you've stumbled on this podcast and like what you hear, you can write us an email at cbcopodcast@gmail.com. Like our pictures at comic books and underscore cold ones on Instagram, or shoot us an X tweet at cbco_podcast. And wherever you listen to podcasts, like us, rate us 5, give us a thumbs up, and just let us know what you want to talk about and drink.
Yes. We'd love to hear from everyone about whatever you want to tell us. We're open to all ideas and suggestions now. And as we usually do, we talk about maybe a download from a new place. Did we have any of those this time?
We did. We had a new one, and we have a shout out to Panevėžys cities, Litva. That's Lithuania for those people that don't speak Latvian. The 5th biggest city in Lithuania, and a brewing town, home to 2 breweries. Yes, home to Kalnapalis and Dundulis breweries. So two breweries, and there is a blog post from some guy that says Panevėžys, the cheapest beer in the world.
Oh, I'm seeing that now.
Yeah. So
that's my kind of town.
Yes. I have been to Lithuania once, and I only went to the 2 biggest towns. I did not go to the 5th biggest town, and I didn't know where the breweries were. But I had Lithuanian beer, and I liked it a lot.
Yeah. What is the Lithuanian beer style?
It is just like every other part of Europe, where you have a pale lager and then a bock. Nice. And they're all owned by Carlsberg and or whatever conglomerate, Molson Coors, InBev, worldwide have snapped them up. But that's changed, since I was there in like 2001. So it's now probably a lot more locally styled beers, and I would assume. And if we were in there, we could go to the Drunken Horse Bar, which is a pretty good name.
That's apparently the top bar in the town.
It's number one. There's also the Spunka Old Barrel Pub, so which is a chain of pubs. So if you're listening in, talking about beer, email us. Tell us what's your favorite beer barn is in Panevėžys, Litva, and your favorite Lithuanian beer.
Yeah, it looks like I'm reading this, skimming this blog called Beervana Blog, and it's titled The Amazing Quirky Beers of Lithuania. So it seems like there's a lot of farmhouse breweries there, maybe that have sprung up since 2001 that you need to go check out. Well,
yes.
Or me too.
So,
me too.
Do you know how to say thank you in Lithuanian?
I do not. I know how to say goodbye in German, and that's about it.
To say thank you in Lithuanian, it's ačiū.
Ačiū.
Yeah, so like the whole time I was there, I was saying God bless you to everybody. After I paid for things, I was like, here's my 50 cents for my beer, and they're like ačiū, and I was like, God bless you. Why is this town full of dust and allergies? Everybody's always sneezing on me.
I know. Get your Zyrtec.
Come on, guys. Dust a little.
Yeah,
that's what I'm talking about.
And it's really great to have a download from Lithuania. This is our first, as far as I can remember, ever download from Lithuania. So
it's our first Baltic download. Yes, I believe.
Is it really Baltic too? Wow.
Yeah. Sweet. We got all the bases covered. Yeah, ačiū.
We do. Ačiū. Ačiū, everybody. But if you're in Lithuania, reach out to us. We'd love to come by and do a live show from wherever you are. Whatever beer farmhouse you like to go to.
And we can do the World Cup of Beers of Lithuania next time.
Yeah. Yeah. So speaking of beer, did you bring a beer today, Yek?
Yeah, but first we got to tell people what we're doing because we're back in the pub and we're sitting tall.
Oh yeah, that's
and
true.
our
That's true.
stools ready to drink and swig large. And what are we doing today, KMac?
Well, we're big swigging again today. That's what we're doing.
Yeah.
Every once in a while, we do an episode called Big Swig Pub Crawl. So in those episodes, we are discussing the event / crossovers that we're trying to in the order in which they were published. So the first Big Swig we did was the Kree Skrull War. It was kind of before we landed on a great theme for this series. And after that, we did Big Swig Contest of Champions, the Big Swig Secret Wars, the Big Swig Crisis on Infinite Earths, the Big Swig Legends, DC Legends, Big Swig Secret Wars 2, and Big Swig Secret Wars 2 Last Call for Crossovers, because there was a shitload of crossovers for Secret Wars 2.
It had more crossovers than Allen Iverson in the late 90s.
It sure did. Oh, so that brings us to the next big swig on the in the publication chronology, the Evolutionary War, which was a series of annual crossovers, I'll say in quotes, that ran through the Marvel publishing in, was it 1988, I think?
1988, the summer annuals in 1988. This is the kickoff of the Marvel format to do the crossover, non-crossover series to make people want to buy the annuals, because most people thought of the annuals, it's when you get guest writers and guest artists that in some random story that didn't always make sense, and they just wanted to sell a bigger volume and maybe make a couple kids happy, and they were hit or miss. But Marvel decided, hey, we could sell more of these if we tied them together somehow. And that's what they did with the Evolutionary War, kicking off in 1988 and going all the way through our childhood into our teenage years. And I believe they finally cut that out in like maybe our early adult years.
Maybe, yeah. I mean, I don't remember buying very many. I mean, I was a huge Atlantis Attacks fan, which we'll get to, I guess, in a couple of months or a couple of years. But that's the one I remember most. I never read this one until reading it for this show.
You finally evolved yourself.
I did. I was a lower life form. Now I'm not.
Now you're the primordial monk and ready to drink beers.
Yes.
Well, we swig through this, and you, the listener, get to listen along, and we talk about our highs and lows and all the funny and weird things that we observe while drinking some good beers. And KMac, what beer did you bring to swig with today?
Well, how did you know I brought a beer?
I think we have a format for this show though that includes that.
Oh yeah. Okay, yes. Well, I did bring a beer. Funny you should ask. Now, my beer is from the oldest, and I would say most highly evolved brewery in Tampa, Cigar City Brewing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so
you went with the oldest and localist beer brewery in your town.
So I have a pub pass, and I thought, you know what? I need to use this pub pass, maybe try some new beers, see if I can find anything for the show. So the beer, well, I went to Cigar City yesterday, tried the pub pass, and did that exact thing. The beer I got for today's show is called Harder Than You Think, because evolving animals into people, that's harder than you think. Building armor to fight a werewolf, it's harder than you think. Writing a good annual series of crossovers, harder than you think.
The crossovers, non-crossovers, yes.
Yes. Being able to record this podcast today, actually a lot harder than you may think. We had some technical issues coming into it. So this beer is a rye Pilsner. Yeah, I really liked it yesterday. It comes in at 5.3% ABV. And actually, it's called the Deshaun Akbanzi and Michael Hall, Harder Than You Think. I guess some proceeds from it go to a scholarship fund for technical education, awards to Black, Indigenous, and people of color within the brewing and distilling trade. So that's pretty cool. I didn't realize that until after I bought it.
So you're not only getting to drink beer, but you're doing good.
Doing good, helping to evolve the brewing community.
And just like the protagonist of our crossovers today, who tries to be a do-gooder, doing things that are harder than he thinks, he maybe should just have a beer instead.
Yeah, and let's see if I can find some more of the specs on this.
Okay. Dial it up.
39 IBU. And that's about the only thing I can find. Yeah, that's the only thing I can find.
That's the ball card on it.
Yeah, I thought I was going to have to get it in a crowler, but they actually have it canned too, which, I appreciate.
Nicely done.
Because now I can get 4 instead of however little I get in a crowler. Let's see. This is me being unprepared for today's show.
As always, KMac.
As always, yep.
Yek carries the show when it comes to the talent.
It sure does seem that way now. So when I click through it on Cigar City's website, it takes me right to the Untapped page, which says 39 IBUs, 5.3% ABV. So I'm going to stick with that as the most important factors for my beer. So yeah, did you happen to bring a beer for today's show?
I followed suit with you, sir.
Wow.
And you had given me a pub pass. And yes, so that's what I used to go to my local oldest brewery, Microcraft Brewery, that's in place, DC Brow, in the confines of Washington, D.C., the nation's capital. And I got myself a beer also after going on all the rides and getting a pub pass stamped. For those people who don't know that are maybe in a foreign country, you can buy these things called pub pass made by a company for different local areas in the U.S., and you get one free beer at various breweries and or bars that they have a deal with, and they stamp it just like a regular passport.
25. You get 25 beers for generally $25. If you wait until like March to buy them, they can be BOGO. So you can, get 2 if you want.
And so you go around getting all the beers and collecting it like it's a big scavenger hunt. And I got this one's a little fancier beer, so maybe it should have been for one of our Masterpiece Comic Book Theater shows, but I just like the name so much because it fits so well. This is the 2023 Barrel-Aged Imperial Stout called Wake Up in the Future.
Oh, nice.
And it comes in a fancy bomber bottle, and I believe it's a 17-ounce bottle. Actually, doesn't tell me how many ounces, but it's larger.
17 ounce.
Yeah. And you know why it's called Wake Up in the Future, Kevin?
I don't know. Tell me why.
Because
you drink so much.
Because it comes in at 15.5% ounce
Holy
ABV.
Shit.
So
yes.
You finished it, and you are in the future whenever you wake up. So
yeah,
after drinking this bad boy, so and
that's
it's got
15. You said 15%.
15.5 is the standard ones that they make.
Wow.
And this year they I had never tried their BBA stuff from DC Brow before, so I was pleasantly surprised how good it is. They had the 2021 they had on tap there, and they had not only 2023 in the bomber bottles, but then they had a 4-pack of, I believe, 2018, 2019, 2020, and 2021 that you get in tall boy format also. I did not buy that, but I considered doing that, but it all looked really good. So
overall, had you been to that brewery before?
No, it's the first time I had gone.
Okay.
And I, for the people that listen to DC Brow, maybe I sometimes have hit or miss in some of the beers that I like in local, but they are the oldest, so I really wanted to hit them up and try it. And I was pleasantly surprised by a number of the beers they had there. They had a really good Belgian style pale ale called the Citizen. I considered also taking. Mm-hmm. And the reason I went there is they had a Bock on tap on the website as of Friday, but I went on a Saturday and it was already gone. And it was called The Legislator. And I was like, that's a good name.
That is a good name, yeah.
But it was already off the tap. So this is what I went with.
Well, I think that was a good choice.
Yeah. And just like the Evolutionary trying to bring everything into the future, that's what I'm going to be doing tomorrow morning. Drink this. So, you ready to crack this open here?
Yeah, let's crack them open.
Okay.
15.5. That's crazy.
Well, when you were here one time, we did try that 18 Black Tuesday beer.
Oh yeah, that's
Yeah,
right.
that was malty. This one, when I tried it yesterday, isn't that syrupy. It has chocolate bourbony notes coming out of the bottle. It is jet black.
Yeah, that makes sense for something for a stout that with that kind of concentration.
Yeah, little henny thing. So, cheers.
Cheers, sir.
Mm-hmm.
To the future.
Mm-hmm. I'll see you in 8 hours. But for 15%, it's not syrupy, which is amazing. And it's not too heavily roasty. And it's not, too heavy on the tongue. Usually, we talk about when they get anything over 12%. Yeah, you're drinking, Aunt Jemima maple syrup a lot of times. Yeah.
Yeah, it's really hard to find one that doesn't have that overwhelming syrupy kind of taste or consistency.
Yeah. And this one does not. It is smooth and dangerous.
Just like you. Smooth and dangerous.
Like the High Evolutionary.
Mm-hmm.
In a silver and pink metal suit.
Hell yeah. Pink paint and ink must have been super cheap.
And I've never had a rye pilsner before, so can you describe it to the listeners and myself?
Oh boy, I'm so bad at describing how beers taste. So, you know how a regular pilsner tastes, right?
Yes.
Yes. Well, this one tastes like that, but with a little bit of rye.
Describe it like you're Lithuanian.
Like I'm Lithuanian. Oh boy. I don't know if I can do that. I don't know how a Lithuanian would describe that. Give me 1 second. But no, it definitely has a little bit so it's slightly stronger in alcohol content than a regular pilsner. So right away it tastes stronger and definitely has more of that. Like it's darker in color, so it definitely has a little more flavor than your normal pilsner would.
So when you drink rye things, usually rye whiskey or rye anything, it has a more peppery taste in the back end. Does it have that?
Yeah, it does have a little bit of that in the back end.
A little spice, more spice usually. I always think rye spice.
Yeah, a little bit of spice on the back. Yeah, nice little like.
Is it grainy at all? Is it grainy at all?
I don't notice any graininess, but there's definitely that bitter spice on the back end. And it just has. I just think it just has a definite. This is a shitty description, but like I like the when a regular pilsner is just kind of like feel like you're drinking a basic beer.
Mm-hmm.
Like this doesn't taste like that at all. You can definitely taste more flavor and let me drink more of it. It smells like a regular pilsner.
It smells like a pilsner. You don't get the spice and the floral note or the grainy notes in your nose when you smell it.
Yeah, I do get the grainy notes in the smell.
Okay.
Now, I was telling you about this, I think it was a week or two ago. I had a rye IPA, yes. And that one, you could taste it almost tasted like it was a bourbon barrel aged IPA. You could taste like those flavor notes on it.
So for the people that are listening that have never had Cigar City, they're most famous for making Jai Alai, which is a pale ale. Yep. They also make a Maduro, which is a heavy brown ale. It's really good. And also Florida Cracker, which is like a Belgian white,
Yeah. I don't know if they make they might have discontinued Florida Cracker.
Of those beers that you've tried from Cigar City, which is also now owned by Oscar Blues for this. Which is your favorite so far of the Cigar City products?
Oh, this one.
Okay. Yeah. It does taste the cake.
Yeah, I mean, I like Jai Alai. It's good, but it's an IPA, so I like IPAs now because of this podcast. But you can only drink so many IPAs. This is very drinkable, and that's what I appreciate about that. Yeah. And then I did in our Contest of Champions episode have Cigar City's Margarita Gosa as well on this episode, and that was good too. But it's a Gosa, so it's not something you really want to drink all the time. It was very sweet.
Yeah, I like Maduro, their brown ale. It's probably the best brown ale that's regularly produced in the U.S. that I can find on the shelves most places. And when I'm hankering for a brown ale, that's the one I can go to. Because I can't find many good brown ales anymore. Like Newcastle Brown's no longer on the shelf when I look for it.
Yeah, I used to drink that all the time.
Yeah. Serve cold. It says it on the can, the bottle, serve cold.
Serve it cold, yeah.
Now, they made a rye beer for Halloween every year called Werewolf.
Oh,
and It wasn't a rye Pilsner, I don't think, but it was a really good beer. Which, leads into our story because there's werewolves in our story.
Yes. This was the weirdest. So there's two parts to these stories. So there's the, in quotes again, the main story, which involves what the High Evolutionary is currently doing. And then at the back of every annual, there's like 5 to 10 pages of the High Evolutionary's backstory, which is just the craziest shit. Like if it goes, it covers all genre of comic book storytelling. It's horror, it's sci-fi, it's like superhero stuff. It's just everything. And I was kind of, I was startled. I didn't realize that the High Evolutionary's backstory involved all of those things, but I guess it makes sense if he debuted in the 1960s. He characters that were around back then usually got to experience everything.
Yes. And just to give you the backdrop here, so these are annual funny books that come out in the summertime that are oversized to sell a little extra bucks for Marvel and DC when they do their annuals. And the story of this one is the High Evolutionary has decided to declare the Evolutionary War. Go to the UN to do this. I see no formal declaration. He doesn't have a flag, so I don't know if you can actually declare war if you don't have a flag. That's kind of the rules war. You first have to have a flag. But his scheme is he wants to jump ahead humans' evolution to be like him, where he's already fully evolved and one with the cosmos almost if he wants to be, and he wants to jump everybody up to that. And the High Evolutionary first appeared in Thor 134, 1966. His full name is Herbert Edgar Wyndham, H.E. Wyndham. So I guess that's where he came up with the term High Evolutionary.
Oh, look at that. I didn't realize that. Whoa.
and he has a pink and silver armor that has a handle on the top, so you can pick him up at the top of the head.
Right. It's perfect. Like someone is evolved and they're like, shoot, I have to put this helmet on every day and I have to lift it up. I should have a handle on top of it so I can just pick it up right off the ground and stick it on my head.
And his jazz is he likes making furries.
Yes, he does. He loves the furries.
Up till this, that's all you knew about him, is he likes making the furries. So he takes animals and evolves them really quickly until they're anthropomorphic creatures. Most famous is Bova, who we've talked about on the show before, who's a female cow that raised the Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver, and then later was the nursemaid to Quicksilver's daughter, Luna, also. So you see her over the years. Full-size cow, female cow walking around. But High Evolutionary, as we covered, it factors into random things throughout the history. So we have this evolutionary war going on, as KMac said, and in the back they have the whole story of the High Evolutionary, which we'll get to is probably the better of the two stories, because what happens in the main ones is just randomness as far as you can tell. He wants to evolve people in the world, and that ultimately involves killing a lot of people first.
Right. Sterilizing and killing a lot of people. Yeah. And his plan is, it's not really, there's really no logical steps to his plan. He just he wants to do like 15 different things and he does them all at once. And they some seem related, but other ones don't really seem related at all.
And he has so many bases to work from.
Yeah. And here's my question. Like, if he wants to evolve everyone, he does have a lot of bases. Let's go back to that real fast. He has Wundagore. Although he doesn't operate at Wundagore in the main story.
Not that we know of. You just see him standing next to computer screens and people walking around.
True. Those could be computer screens in Wundagore. He has Savage Land Base, Rocket Ship, underwater like submarine city. It's a gigantic, huge thing, and I'm missing one, aren't
I? He has like a place in the middle of the earth, also in New York City, if I remember right. He has an underground base in New York City.
Of course. Like,
Yes.
how do you build that, right?
Well, when you're a nigh omnipotent furry maker, you just can make bases, man.
Just make them. You just make them. So here's the thing: if we're looking for the most evolved, humans, he wants to do that. Like, we can jump back to our first big swig and wonder why the heck he just didn't go get Rick Jones, right?
Well,
Because Rick Jones was turned into the most highly evolved human. Plus, if you want to listen to folk music, you got that. You got those bases covered.
well, those go hand in hand, folk music and evolution.
Correct.
But it does for those that are continuing nerds like me. The big upshot of the Kree Squirrel War was the first time the Supreme Intelligence realizes the Kree can't evolve anymore, whereas man still has unlimited evolutionary potential, and that eventually leads into the Kree Shi'ar War, where the High Evolutionary kills off all the Kree to jumpstart their evolutionary tracks again. Because
the High Evolutionary does that?
No, not the High. Sorry, the Supreme Intelligence does that.
Okay.
But he's all
is that for an Operation Galactic Storm?
Yes.
Okay, there's going to be a big swig on that someday.
Yeah. So it all ties back into, and it's quoted one time in Annihilation, or right before Annihilation, like there's like a prison ship that gets crashed in the earth, and like one of the Skrulls says, "We don't want to go there. That's just a ticking time bomb of gene math. That's pretty bad. A ticking talking gene bomb. That we don't want to worry about." So that goes back to this, that humankind in the 616 can become nigh omnipotent gods someday, and everybody's scared of that.
Rick Jones,
Which
Jones,
means
baby.
It means, what they're scared of is more folk music in the world, in the universe, in the galaxy.
Yeah.
That's what Galactus is trying to stop the whole time.
Nigh omnipotent folk music.
Yes.
Oh boy.
But it goes back. That's what he's trying to make. And big top 5 thing is, we talked about, this is the first kickoffs of these annual crossovers, and that's one of my favorite things. Is when I was a kid, you would go out and get as many as you could, because you're like, oh, before the annuals were just oversized books told by usually B artists and B writers, and this one was like, oh my god, they're tying it all together. So, and they had their own masthead at the top of the comic, and it was all tying together, and you're like, oh, this is going to be so cool. Did it turn out to be so cool? No. But the thought was there.
Just wait until we get to Shattershot and Kings of Pain.
Yes. But even in these stories that weren't that great. So
yeah, it's a very disjointed main story.
So that's the my big noting of the bad things, and it's the whole, what the fuck was this written by an 8-year-old across everything, because the henchmen for the High Evolutionary are the Eliminators and the Purifiers, and probably some Destroyers and something like that.
Yeah. So it got me confused, because and we read a lot of X-Men for our Zoom X-Read crossover meetup that we do with some other friends, and the Purifiers are like longtime X-Men villains that are like Reverend Stryker's guys from God Loves Man Kills, and I'm guessing these are different Purifiers that they debuted after.
Subcontracted out.
He does like to subcontract. Yes. We learned that.
So maybe he's just like, I have my own Eliminators already, but I need to up that with the Purifiers. But then he names his own dudes that are running these crews Purge, and
yeah,
it's like, come on, man.
Nicknames.
What?
Yeah, and then the Young Gods,
the New Gods.
The New Gods, were those the people in the
Gods
Spider-Man book?
I don't know where the fuck those guys came from. Yeah, they came up with the Spider-Man book. So in one of this goes through all the Spider-Man books at the time. It goes through Web of, Spectacular, and Amazing. And then one, you find out about some new characters that are nigh omnipotent are going to be out there that
were evolved by the Celestials, right, or something.
They were evolved by somebody. Yeah, I can't
I think
remember
the
who it was.
Celestials. I think they.
Because the Celestials evolved the Eternals.
Yeah,
And the
the
Kree
Deviants.
made the
But
Inhumans
yeah,
in light of the Celestials, and then so the Celestials did these guys again too. It was a double up.
I think that's what they said because I who and honestly, who cares, right? Because they suck, and I don't think anyone ever wrote a story about them again.
Well, I'm going to pick up that strand, man, and write a Pulitzer Prize winning sequel to Evolutionary Wars called De-Evolutionary Wars starring the young gods. It's going to be so good.
Yeah,
But
so
no,
the
the
overall
plot holes.
story not great, and the characters that debuted in the story not particularly great.
Yeah, some of these stories made me want to drink some 15.5% alcohol beer to get through some of them.
Yeah.
Because it was dragged on. But with that said, they were giving it a go. Um, and some of the, there were some at the time, and I didn't realize this as a kid, but some high point art in it. We had X Factor. There was a Terry Schumacher issue. Mark Teixeira did the Punisher. Art Adams, I think, killed it with the X-Men.
Yeah.
That's probably the biggest name. And then Mark Bright, who I didn't know anything about, and I probably liked his work. I liked him in the Avengers in this one. And then I had never really realized how long Bagley had been at Marvel, because I'm just so used to him in the '90s doing Spider-Man. But he does the Amazing Spider-Man crossover, and it does not look like what Mark Bagley's comics look like later on in life at all.
No, it's more like Marvel House style, I think,
Yes.
at this
Yeah.
point. But and I don't know, I like Mark Bright. I didn't really, and the proviso here, I'm not an artist, so I can't draw anything. But like some of that stuff, like the Hulk, there was a picture of the Hulk and his head was like narrow, but his like the top of his head was gigantic. So there was some, proportions I think that were off in that. But overall, I thought it was, I didn't have any problems with it. But yeah,
The
and
things I
I
point
can't.
to in that one, yeah, was the motion storytelling with the beast, the way the beast moves and that, and they had like a splatter shop where he's bouncing around and with the graying out and everything and moving, which I thought was really cool. Yeah, some of it they squished onto things, something, yeah, but because I think he only did like 100 some comic books.
Oh,
He
really?
didn't do a
Wow.
ton with Marvel at least. And the cover of that was done by Sal Buscema, which may be the best thing I've ever seen Sal Buscema do. And I'm not the biggest Sal Buscema fan, but yeah, it was pretty solid, I thought, that cover. He was most well known for doing Power Man and Iron Fist in the '80s. Okay.
Oh, wow.
And he did all of Armor Wars #1. That's what I know him for.
Oh, Armor Wars.
Yeah, which is a good one.
Big Swig, Armor Wars.
Mm-hmm. Coming up.
Yeah. I've only read like an issue here and there of Armor Wars. I've never read the whole thing.
Did you read Armor Wars #2?
I did not read Armor Wars 2. I've read, again, just like an issue here or there, depending on what I got in that Sears catalog order.
Sweet. But not,
sweet.
I mean, yeah, there were some low points in the art too that were just I don't want to drag people, but it was just not that great. So
no, and I mean, like there's a balance with the artist and the writings. Like I'm not an artist and I'm not a writer, so I can't really criticize like if people don't maybe do their best work 100% of the time, because in my job I don't do my best work 100% of the time. Unless I'm podcasting, then it's 100% awesome. Or if it's describing the taste of beer, like I can do that so good. I nail
every
like
home run.
I'm on a beer podcast and I never miss that. Never. But I think you can smell the rye off the top of this too, and
you keep smelling it.
I do keep smelling it because I'm trying. I'm putting what I lack in descriptive ability. I'm trying to make up for in effort.
I'm going to pay for you to go to Cicerone training and become a beer expert and
yes,
dedicate your whole time to mastering the art and smell and nose of beer. So
I will do it. I love it.
But in those guys' defense, the low point is really those plot holes in silly stories, because there's a lot of '80s dumb in there. Like for some reason you have to tie the Punisher in with the story.
Punisher moves books.
And one of the things you have to purify out of mankind, I guess, are Colombian drug lords.
I guess so. Yeah, there's a couple of instances of drug dealers coming up as being the target of the High Evolutionaries. What do they call it? The Eliminators? Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. So what this is how bad the Eliminators are. Is it forces the Punisher to team up with drug dealers to fight the Eliminators. That's how the Punisher's like, I hate drug dealers, but you know what? I'm going to make an exception because I want to kill some Eliminators.
We're gonna team up here for a little while, you human scum that sell the drugs to the kids, but afterwards, deals off.
Yeah,
Yeah, it literally is a bad Schwarzenegger movie that never got made. That Punisher issue.
yeah, yeah. And it seems like the story overall it goes between like grand scale and street level. Like
Yes.
Spider-Man has some street level issues, and then Punisher does too, and then you have the Avengers and you have the X-Men and you have Silver Surfer that are more on a grander scale. Well, I don't even know about if Silver Surfer does, um, but yeah, more on a grander scale. At least Silver Surfer's up in the air, not on the ground, we could say.
Yeah, when you happen to tie a Punisher story with a Silver Surfer story, that's not easily done, and so
It's not easily done.
I can't give him some faults on that,
Yeah, they
especially
do it.
when the Deus Ex Machina in the Punisher story is a crocodile that eats humans.
Yes, that drug dealer has a great croc tank. Let me say, I wish I had a croc tank like that.
Just dump your enemies into.
Yeah, hell yeah. So, did we discuss the evolutionary philosophical debate, or no?
We haven't gotten back to that one because
All right.
that's there. While the disjointed stories, that's we're on the disjointed stories. There are some high point stories in this that some of the people did run with things that are really, really well done. And my favorite issue, storytelling wise, is the X Factor issue, which kicks the whole thing off. And you have the newly created villain at the time, like brand new in Apocolypse, like Walt Simonson
Yeah.
just made him. And his whole thing is he wants to curate evolution also, survival of the
Right.
fittest, and that's how we get the best evolution. And the High Evolutionary is the exact opposite, where he wants to curate everything, right? He wants to select and pick and make things perfect and jump the speed up instead of having nature takes its course. And so they have a big debate and fight off where they're two big bads that can do anything they want and no one can win. And it really lays out the juxtaposition on those two things. And I thought that was interesting to read. From the villain's point of view and why they're doing things. Now I didn't quite dig the whole story where the High Evolutionary wants to kill off the moloids.
That was weird.
The subterranean people, and we get to this later where the High Evolutionary is not evil, and people that watch Guardians of the Galaxy 3, he generally likes everything people that he works with, and he likes his creations. He doesn't want to kill any of them. He actually wants to find them. He doesn't
cares for them.
Yeah. He doesn't. Unlike what they show in Guardians of the Galaxy 3, where he just eliminates everything, he doesn't do that in the comic books.
Yeah, he's like a mustache twirler in Guardians of the Galaxy. And then in some issues in this story, he's like that too. Not all of them, which is, and so with the storytelling, it can be a little disjointed because the writers of the annuals are generally the writers of the main series. So the main story in this book is written by 11 different writers, while the backstory of, kind of summarizing and channeling the High Evolutionary's origin is written only by Mark Grunwald. So that one's a little tighter, but you have different writers, different takes on the High Evolutionary and how he should behave and what he's like. But I thought the X Factor issue was good too. It was an interesting start, and the cover, right? Like, that's my favorite cover of the whole series because it has Apocolypse just giving him the beatdown, which is really cool and a great way to draw readers in because, like you said, this big bad Apocolypse just got introduced, and now in the annual, holy crap, he's fighting the High Evolutionary, who is obviously the star of this evolutionary war story. And they just did I think a good job with the cover and story to draw people in. But it was interesting that he wanted to genocide the Moloid people. Considering we learned later in the backstory that the Moloid people helped him in Wundagore
build his first base.
Yeah, and they mined all the uranium for him.
And we know how much he likes bases.
I know.
So yeah, he wants to keep them around.
Yeah, so it's almost like he was doing that to like clear away any evidence of what he like how he started out. I don't know. It just they never really tied that together.
I just think that stories that some authors wanted to job him out and didn't talk to Grunwald and like get the character right, and you're like, oh, we're going to make him a mustache twirler and everything. But to go to your comment on the cover, if you read the theme in it, Apocalypse's whole thing is we should fight it out. And that fighting is the stronger. So it's really showing, Apocalypse, knocking down the evolutionary that, survival is based on the fittest, and you're not the fittest. Evolutionary, and watch me beat you down, even though no one really wins the fight at the end of it. But later on, when we go through the story, the backstory, and if you know more about High Evolutionary, he also dabbles. He learns a lot of his things from Nathan Essex when he's younger, who is
does he?
Sinister. Yeah,
I didn't know. I was wondering about that. It seemed like they were very similar characters,
and they later shared some screen time in a couple of X-Men books. And that's where Mr. Sinister's the ultimate mustache twirler, right?
He is, yeah.
High Evolutionary doesn't want to team up with him on anything because he's like, no, I like I like the things I do.
And Mr. Sinister is a mustache twirler only because it's glamorous. It's all glam for him, especially lately. Like he'll mustache twirl, but only because it looks good.
So, I think that's a high point story. I like the Avenger story towards the end also.
We'll disagree on that one, but
why? We can disagree.
We can disagree.
We can agree to disagree.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking of the other ones that I thought were pretty decent. And this is the time when Spider-Man was on his webs tour also, when he's selling his book. So,
I didn't know that. That was cool.
Yeah, and that's when Todd McFarlane's taking over Spider-Man at the time too, also. Yeah. In the main comics. So this was a kind of a high point for Spider-Man.
Yeah,
which other stories did you like?
Well, my favorite one, and this is for pure selfish reasons, was the X-Men one, because there was a couple of reasons. Number one, that's my favorite team, the Australia team. And this annual had escaped me. I had never read it before, but it ties up that Colossus has a son that he conceived in the Savage Land way back in the early X-Men days when they were on their world tour. And it's the issue that introduces Zaladane, who becomes a major villain in the X-Men books later on, and kind of leads to, between her and the Reavers, leads to like the dismantling of the team for a little while until they were like reunited under 275 and that huge gatefold cover. But the other thing that it does well, and I think this kind of goes back to like, not all the writers knowing exactly what the High Evolutionary was like. Chris Claremont knew what the High Evolutionary was like. He didn't write him as a villain at all.
Yeah.
That's what I thought was great about that issue, is because the High Evolutionary wanted to restore the Savage Land, and he really had,
after Terminus had wrecked the shit in the Avengers,
and that Avengers
the
issue,
Terminus Factor, in the 3-part,
we had read that for something in this. Oh, we read that in for our first convocations when we went to the Savage Land.
Yes.
But I really like that issue for those reasons, and because of like how Claremont went back to the character's roots, and he was there to help and to help things evolve well and naturally.
Yeah, and he's also in it for his own selfish purposes at times, but he's not there to be evil and do it.
Right.
He has his bad consequences sometimes. He
has his motivations.
His means may be bad, but his heart isn't bad. Necessarily. So. And Zaladane rolling with the High Evolutionary's crew. That's who she is.
Yeah, that was cool. And I saw it there, I'm like, holy shit, it's Zaladane. Nice. Nice. I want to go back and read those again. It's been a long time. Those were like, that was my heyday, and like toward the end of the Australian era. Those are some of my favorites.
And that issue is the high point of art and the thing, because you have Art Adams and you have Chris Claremont, the team doing what they do well, and they just threw it in the Savage Land to make it even cooler.
Yeah.
And you have a dragon-based city.
Yeah, you do. You do. Like almost a Falcor city.
That's what I was literally, I was like, is this never in any fucking story? Is that Falcor?
Which, by the way, I heard they're remaking. Hopefully have you tried to watch that movie again recently?
I have not watched it in years.
Don't watch it. It's not watchable. I tried to get my kids to watch it when they were younger, and they were just like, what is this? I'm like, guys, I don't know. I'm so sorry. But apparently they're remaking it.
Although, I'm going to tell you right now,
they better have the song.
If I need a crew to fight an evolutionary war or any other end of time situation, Falcor is in my top 5 of joining my crew.
Oh, hell
He's
yeah.
in there.
Yeah. Falcor's awesome. My dog
He's the means of transport. He's the means of transport.
Yeah, my dog looks like Falcor. So if we had the choice to name our dog, because he came to us having his name already, I would have named him Falcor for sure. Like it was like when I saw him, like, this is Falcor. That would have been like such a missed opportunity. I don't know how you have a dog like mine and don't name him Falcor.
I can see your wife's eyes rolling right now.
Oh yeah, for sure. They did. They definitely did. Yeah.
But no, those are the 2 high point stories, which is weird. You would expect them to be with the whole point that mutants are evolved humans of some kind, and that's what High Evolutionary Wars. And I was a kid. I didn't read these as a kid. I thought this was all, because it leads off with the Apocolypse versus the High Evolutionary. I thought it was just one big story of them fighting out who was gonna, evolve things, but that didn't happen. That would have been a way better story.
That would have been, yeah, if it was like them going at it with everyone else dealing with the fallout.
Yes.
Because then you would have had Apocalypse versus the Avengers, Apocalypse versus Spider-Man. That would have been really cool.
No, Apocalypse. It's Apocalypse. And hopefully we'll see the High Evolutionary in X-Men 98 when it comes out.
Yeah. Oh, I haven't watched any of that series yet. Have you? The 97?
I watched the first 2 episodes. I watched with my nephew. He was very pumped. He's under 10, and he loved it. He had so many questions because he hadn't watched all the original series. He's like, who's Professor X and why is he there?
Oh no. Yeah, I don't remember if I finished the original series. I need to go on YouTube and watch just like a half-hour summary of the entire series or something.
The greatest theme song ever.
Yeah, it is a good theme song. Hey, wait, listen.
Oh, there's another one.
Another one. All right. So one thing I was surprised by is they didn't really deal with the issue of mutants very much. I mean, mutants seem to be the next like evolutionary leap for humans, and X Factor's there, but they don't really deal with that issue in the X Factor story or in the X-Men story. They deal with it in the New Mutant story, but in a very strange way.
All right. So let's lay it out here.
Yeah.
In the evolutionary tree, so we have humans, which are Homo sapiens. And we'll use the term humans because I get upset. Everybody that's Homo something is a human. Even humans are mutant. They're Homo superior, but they're still Homo. They're humans still.
Yeah, I'm on board with you on this.
They can interbreed with each other. We're not So we have
right,
Homo.
They don't have to result when they breed with each other. They don't have to result in a mutant.
No, but the resulting kid would have an X gene, and which could express and make them mutants.
But
I studied Mendelian genetics. This is how it works.
But what about Graydon Creed? He has no mutant gene.
He has an X gene, but it doesn't express itself.
I don't know. I don't think he has an X gene. Anyway, go ahead.
Okay. So,
I'm just talking.
Maybe he doesn't have an X gene. Yeah, this is true. This is true. Yeah, this is true. If X genes are recessive, maybe he doesn't have an X gene. It doesn't. Yeah.
Oh, well, that's a good point. Yeah. I'll make sure to mention that to de-harm.
Yeah. So we have Homo sapiens, Homo superior mutants, Homo romanus, or the Atlanteans.
Right. Oh, did you see? There's a new Namor story book coming out, 8 issues in July. Jason Aaron.
No.
It looks pretty good. Anyway, back.
Marmanus. You're interrupting my flow of.
I know, but we just operate on flow of consciousness here.
So we got those.
Homo Mermanus,
and then we have Homo inhumanus, the
Okay.
Inhumans, and Homo eternalis.
Okay. And what is deviance?
And then those are also Homo deviantis.
Okay.
So we have all these that are offshoots that all could go in improving ways of mankind, and then you have these fucking new gods. Who the fuck they are, I don't know.
Yeah, I think we can forget about them.
Novos Dei, Homo Novus Dei.
No, just forget about them.
Novi Dei, yeah, that's the Latin Novi Dei. So, I know my Latin still. So Homo Novi Dei. So you have those, and yeah, they just kind of stop talking about Homo Superior. But mankind, like we talked about, has this whole genetic future that we don't know where it's going.
Rick Jones, we know.
There's Homo folkloris.
Yes, that's it. Homo folkloris is the way.
Yes, that's where it's going. That's the reason they stopped talking about mutants. And that's where the X-Men books get it wrong with the Krakoa right now, is there's no Rick Jones there playing a 6-string acoustic guitar.
Yeah.
Fighting Sentinels. That's what it should be.
That's what it should be. That's right.
Unstoppable.
Oh, that's great.
But no, those are the high points, those two X-Men and X-Factor stories. So, read those, skip over most of it's what we're telling you.
Yeah, definitely.
Also, a high point for me, it's not the debut of Speedball, I don't think. Is it?
It is. It's the first Speedball.
Is it the first Speedball?
It is the first Speedball.
I thought he came out earlier in like the 70s Marvel, but he appears in Robbie Baldwin.
Nope, that's it.
First appearance, Amazing Spider-Man Annual 22. Yep. May 1998. Yeah. First appearance of Speedball.
Not the best character, but a long-standing character for sure.
One of my favorite characters.
Really?
Yeah, I love Speedball.
So here's it. So I want you to. I'm gonna give you some musical backdrop, and you tell me why Speedball is one of your favorite characters.
Okay.
3, 2, 1, go.
Because one, he can just fall off anything and develop kinetic energy. He can never be hurt. He's quippy like Spider-Man, so he was going to inherit the Spider-Man thrones because Spider-Man was growing up at the time. His name's Robbie. He was raised by theater people, so it's always going to be weird. His mom's a thespian.
Was he really?
And he gets all the little speedball-y things around him and all the kinetic energy things. And when he learns how to use it, it's really cool. Now, the worst thing about Speedball...
Then we can stop the music. Go ahead.
The worst thing about Speedball is they turned him into...
Penance.
You take the happy-go-lucky character that could be maybe not carry his own series, or anything, just be a side player, and then make him this dour, shitty human being because he supposedly killed all these people. No,
yeah, this like BDSM character.
Yes.
Yeah, it's interesting.
But he was raised by theater people, so that kind of describes a little bit of it.
Was he really? Okay.
Yeah, his mom's like a famous Broadway actrice that we find out in this, and they have a backup story in this Amazing Spider-Man, which is his first solo story. Where somebody where a former actor tries to heal his mommies.
Yeah. So, and that's another thing about these annuals. So we have some first appearances. We have Speedball, like you mentioned. We have Zaladane, like we just mentioned. We have the Slug.
Yes.
Who's like super gross.
What is the Slug's power, KMac? Please tell everyone.
I don't know if he has a power so much as he just kills people in his fat rolls.
He asphyxiates people in his fat.
Yeah.
He makes the Kingpin look small.
He does. And yeah.
So the Slug is the head of the Miami crime scene, and this goes back to everything's got to be. It's 1988, so Miami Vice is big, so we have nothing but drug references to
drugs all over. Yeah.
Yes. And weirdly, the head of the Miami drug scene and the hottest humanist part of the U.S.
I know. How does he live? Oh, it was so I'm in Florida. I'm not down in Miami, but I'm in the Tampa area, obviously. And it's April 21st today, and it was so humid and hot. Like, And I know, like, it's warmer now than it was in 1988, but still, like, I imagine 1988 Miami is like 2024 Tampa.
Yeah, you're
You know?
100 miles south or whatever, 200 miles,
Yeah.
150 miles south or something. Yeah. So yeah,
Yeah.
and you're right on
Oh,
the coast, and yeah, that just yeah.
it's too much.
I mean,
It's not like he can go. He can't even go underwater in the pool. He can't. Like, he's just too big.
I mean, he's just self-rendering right there, just fat, just
Yeah.
rolling off. But yeah, that's first appearance of the Slug, who Spider-Man gets to fight. So that's also one of the things these annuals they do. They like to introduce new characters, and there was one that we get to eventually where that was the whole point of the annuals, is to introduce a new character in the 90s where we did that.
Yeah.
They're just like, hey, the annuals are going to introduce mainly new villains, if I remember right. And they came with their own card and everything,
Of course they did.
Yes. The bag.
Oh yeah. So, so how we're structuring this episode is we're talking about the few, things we liked and the things we don't like. And one of the things that was kind of troubling and interesting is we did get to learn like some crazy stuff about like inhuman family law for sure. And I'm a family law attorney, which so I have some experience in this, but apparently on Atalon, if you have an abusive spouse, too bad. You got to stay with him, especially if you're the king's sister. Is that right? Is that
Yes.
yeah,
Yes.
king's
No,
sister
she's the king's sister-in-law. So
in-law.
Crystal is Medusa's sister.
Oh, okay. All right.
If I remember right. If I
You're
remember
right. You're right. Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah.
right.
Black Bolt says too bad. He says no.
Under a monarchy,
Yes.
the king determines on law, and he does not like going to Thanksgiving dinner where there's an empty seat when the spouse should be. And so Quicksilver at the time, had gotten into rows with Crystal because their kid Luna didn't turn out to be superpowered at all, neither inhuman or mutant. And so he was verbally abusive, not physically, but verbally and noxiously abusive to Crystal.
Oh yeah,
And
Quicksilver is a
Crystal was
well-known asshole.
hothead, hothead.
Yeah.
And so Crystal's like, I ain't need no man, know how fast he is.
Yeah, I don't need no hothead. I'm gonna go hang out with Johnny Storm.
Yes, I can. Yes. Take your base, sir. Take all of them.
So I'll do my bat flip, and I will take the bases on that one. Thank you very much, sir. Yes.
Tap home plate. Get your runs.
Was that an inside the park, or was that the full on into the stands?
No, you got all of it. You got all of the ball, and it went. It was a 450.
Sweet.
It's it may hit parking lot cars. Yeah, that was that good.
Oh, funny how that works out.
But yet there is no divorce in the inhuman world, so it's an inhuman world when it comes to marriage on Adelon.
Yeah, I mean, if you want a divorce, you got to go talk to Black Bolt in private, and that's just not a good thing. It's not going to end well.
Yeah, it's hard to have a two-way conversation with a guy that never talks, right?
So. Right. And when he does, it knocks you back a mile.
Yes. But he does right on the planet, on the moon, family.
He does.
Crystal.
He does. So he maybe he has the the right ideas in his heart, but probably not, because I don't think Quicksilver changes his tune very much. Around this time, I remember him being the same dick going through the 90s.
And if there's any media that's known for stereotyping characters, it is the world of funny books, right? So,
yeah, for sure.
They make their living off that.
So I didn't realize that Luna doesn't have any powers.
Yep, that was the big gimmick, that she's half mutant, half inhuman, and no powers.
They just kind of cancel each other out.
Or they don't explain why. Like even Quicksilver tried to expose her to the Terrigen Mist by himself to try to get her amped up, because it really breaks his heart that there's no way she doesn't have powers. But nope.
That's crazy.
But somebody's probably, I haven't read much Luna since, but I'm sure somebody's going to retcon that she's going to be the most powerful person ever or whatever, or pull a Moira McTaggart and come out to be the evil and anti-inhuman and anti-mutant human.
Right. Or she's really just Franklin Richards.
Yes.
Yes. Now they try to post a picture of this on our platforms, but the artists don't do her any justice either with those drawings of Luna. Oh boy. No wonder Quicksilver was pissed.
He's like, she's got some big old chomper. She's got to have some mouth powers or something, for the love of God.
Right. He's probably wondering why his daughter is Sloth from the Goonies.
like, for the love of God, she's got to be able to compete at the Nathan's famous dog competition. At least to win that shit.
Yeah, anything.
Get it to the family proud. I mean, Magneto's all pissed. God damn it! I got two ghost babies, and one that I'm going to pay for orthodontics with all the metal I got to bring in from around the world to straighten her teeth,
and the optometrist too to fix that lazy eye.
Yeah. You think Magneto can make braces like better than other people?
I bet he can. Why not, right? I mean, he can make like underground, like under volcano bases with elaborate computer systems with his, with pretty much just his mind and his powers. So braces should be, if he ever retires from, the hero villain business, like that's the way to go.
Go into orthodontics, because he could probably just move one tooth with just enough cable movement and stuff. Although, now that they've gone all ceramics on the braces, people aren't visiting him anymore.
Well, then Crystal should be able to do it, right?
Controls the elements.
Yeah. So she can.
She makes the foundation for the brace wires.
Yeah, exactly. All right. So, what else did you like about this crossover?
So the other thing that I really liked, and I know you might have, but anytime there's an Avengers annual crossover, there's always just the random Avengers that show up, and this one really paid off because you get Hercules coming out of nowhere
with his new outfit.
Yep, you get Blue Beast, you get Falcon, you get Grey Hulk, you get Joe Costa, B-list Avengers. You get the villain Yellow Jacket number 2, that she steals the costume, becomes, and then she gets roped into taking on the High Evolutionary team. And you get, this is the limited 1 year run when you have the captain, not Captain America, but when he gave up the role of Captain America, and he's just the captain, and he has black, red, and silver costume, which is a sweet costume.
I like that costume. Yeah. I have a question about Beast, though, because in the X Factor annual, he was Dude Beast, regular guy, dumb Beast. But by the time they get to this annual, he's the Blue Furry Beast again. Is that you think that's a mistake, or do you think that's something that happened canonically? Because I don't know. I know he eventually obviously turned back into the Blue Beast in X Factor at some point, but I feel like this might have been a mess up. I don't know.
This is when I was reading X Factor, and I think by the time they got around to the Avengers one, he had converted back.
Okay.
Because they're talking about it in the X Factor annual, how he's resisting his bestial urges or whatever, right? And yeah.
Okay.
So I think by the time they rolled around to this one, because the Avengers one's the final one in the loop, with the cover of Sal Buscema, that's like I think one of the top 3 covers, and it with probably my favorite Sal Buscema art maybe ever, because I'm not the biggest Sal Buscema fan, but yeah, the High Evolutionary holding up the globe with the Avengers strapped to manacles, which is pretty good, I think, at least in my opinion.
Yeah, that is a good one. I like that one too.
But all the Avengers annuals always include some random members and teams, and this one's probably the most random of all of them. So
yeah, I would agree with you on the randomness of the team. My first thought when I read it was of course there are no Avengers. They're all on the West Coast Avengers, because every single normal Avenger, except I guess Iron Man wasn't on either team at this point, was on the West Coast. Hawkeye, Mockingbird, Vision, Scarlet Witch. Just seemed like a lot of the regulars are over there now at this point.
And none of these Avengers are official Avengers at the time. They all get called up on last minute notice. So
yeah, that's right. Yeah, so because of the Joe Costa phone call, right?
Mm-hmm.
But so when did the team disband at this point, or are they just off planet?
I think they're off planet. This is the overlap with when they're dealing with some of the scrolls, if I remember right. But I don't know. I had to. I'm trying to remember. It's in 1988.
Yeah, it's like a Star Fox. Like Star Fox is on the team. Maybe it's Star Fox, Captain Marvel.
Yes. Yeah, I think it's Thor, Star Fox, Captain Marvel. Let's see what the regular issue was at this time. Google, you're not very good for this.
No, they're not. Google wouldn't know the 1988 Avengers, but that would make sense if they're well. And at this time, Marvel was pretty consistent with trying to keep their continuity in check. So,
Volume 293. This is Namor, Doctor Druid, Thor, Captain Marvel, Black Knight.
Oh, okay.
And they are
and Moondragon.
no Moondragon.
Are you sure?
No. But they are dealing with a Council of Kings issue and the Atlanteans, because this is the one that's setting up, I think, later for next year to be the
Atlantis attacks.
Yeah.
There's also a random, well, not a random Team Avengers, but like a call out to Avengers members. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this one's pretty good. And, it sets it up.
And in Avengers, they're about to reshuffle the team again after this too, if I'm not mistaken.
Because this one they kill off. It's the one where Namor had been married to is it Lamura? What's her name?
Oh yeah, I know who you're talking about.
Yeah. And
green skin, blonde hair.
Yeah, she dies in this one. Yeah, she's from the Alpha Flight.
Yeah.
Leviathan.
Yeah, because that kind of ties in a little bit to the Atlantis Attacks annuals too.
Yeah, yep. That's where she comes. Yeah, Marina Smallwood. Marina, that's it. Marina.
Oh, Marina, that's right. I remember now.
Wonk wonk.
I don't know. Like, it was a random team of Avengers. It was interesting how like Hulk comes in and just like kills a bunch of people when they get into the like High Evolutionary chamber, and the Avengers are like, "Yeah, we're good with that. No problem. Kill everybody." I'm like, okay, that's a little weird.
When you're in the backups, you take what you get, man.
That is true.
You take your strikeouts as long as you're getting home runs, right? So that's all they're caring about. Putting up runs on the board. But as we mentioned, I like the art in this issue. I know you didn't like the art so much, but I like the the beast movements and all those good things that they do. But I don't like the whole gimmick of the whole time, because they kind of just job out, in my opinion, High Evolutionary throughout this whole thing. Where he'd been this shady character that does good and does bad. You don't know what it is. He just kind of comes in, like we talked about, and so like the Avengers find out that there's like a whole cult that he's developed around himself that are led by his animal people, his new men. And one of them is the Man Beast, and the Man Beast is like his anti-hero, his Satan,
his arch enemy. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that was interesting. It seemed like, they probably didn't get a lot of. The underlying plot isn't very consistent. So at this point, like you said, with all the worshipers in the church he has, or the cult, that never came up before. You would think it would have played some part in the story to this point, but
they just throw it in as random, and then the Man Beast is the head of the cult, and you're like, well, that doesn't make any goddamn sense, because he made a whole world. The Man Beast tried to corrupt it, and he created Adam Warlock to be Jesus to take over.
Right. And then the Man Beast kind of corrupted Adam Warlock, and didn't Adam Warlock kill the High Evolutionary at some point? Wasn't that the story?
There's a little bit of that going on. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It did. That didn't make a lot of sense, but it did make sense that the Beast could pass for one of the new men. I did like that. That was a good idea, and that's probably why they brought the Beast in the story to begin with.
Yep, and maybe the whole impotence they probably had for making him into the furry beast.
You make a good point. Yeah.
We got to get this around, because we need this one 2-page panel of him passing as a Newman. And I'm sure Walt Simonson was like, God damn it, I'm working on something here with X Factor. I don't want to be doing that.
It's like, we got to wrap this evolutionary war shit up. And the only way we can do it is if Beast is furry again. There's no other way.
Get on that.
They could have used Tigra as a Newman.
That would have been way just as beneficial,
Yeah.
There's lots of options when it comes to that.
Yeah, but I do like that they brought Steve Rogers back to the Avengers at this point. That's good. Good move.
And ultimately, they job out the Evolutionary, like destroy, I think, a lot of his good stuff, and we'll get to the high point. I think it's the backstory. But his big ass plan is he's going to make a gene bomb to involve everybody. Like, that's been done.
Right. Just see Uncanny X-Men 245.
Yeah. I mean, is he Magneto from the first X-Men movie? Is that what he's doing?
I know. I don't know. But what's so funny is, though, in Uncanny 245, it's that joke issue that kind of parodies DC's Invasion.
Yeah.
Where the aliens come and they're dropping a gene bomb, which looks like Jean Grey. But it seems like High Evolutionary had the same idea. So, but what did they say the gene bomb was going to do?
So Uncanny X-Men comes out to 1989. So a year later, they stole.
They stole
the High Evolutionary plot. Well, no, it's going to, evolve everybody forward. And they got to that's the reason they got to purify everybody that's bad, because they don't want those people to like ruin the gene pool and bring them back. So when they start going backwards,
like those drug dealers.
Yes, but they don't explain the mechanism the gene bomb is going to be using. Like, does it wipe out places, or you just
it was just going to be detonated in a volcano.
Yes,
but it got detonated anyway, right? It just didn't get detonated in the volcano.
Yes.
Okay. But we don't know what happened after that.
So there's some fish out there.
Yes,
that somebody can write a good story about.
Yeah. That evolved to the highest point of evolution of fish.
Of fishdom that are ready to go.
So beer interlude. My beer is still good. It's still rye. It's still tasty.
Mine is potent, and I'm already about to put my face down in the table.
Oh, yes, because the 15% ABV.
15.5%, yeah.
Oh, goodness.
It's good. It's strong. It's making me evolve.
You're evolving to the next level of reality.
I'm waking up in the future, man.
You are. So before we talk about the thing we liked most, the last thing that we really didn't care for too much, we've talked about it a few times, is that they do kind of sell out the High Evolutionary just to become just a boring mustache twirling heel by the end in this by the Avengers issue. And some stories do him better than other stories, but mostly it seems like they don't know what to do with him, because he really isn't historically the type of villain that it seems like editorial wanted him to be for the story.
Yeah, and they make up, this is the one I think they take in Guardians of the Galaxy 3, and this is the one they use to make him be a bad guy in Guardians of the Galaxy 3, where he'll kill off his creations. When before, he doesn't do any of that. He creates a whole planet for him. That's all he wants to do, is keep them alive. He doesn't kill anything. And the Newman, he gives them the code of chivalry to make them into knights and things weird like that.
Right,
he doesn't. He never refers to anyone to kill him. But now, like the Moloids, he liked the Moloids before, and in this one, he's like, yeah, I don't mind purifying the fuck out of them.
Yeah, that was so strange. Yeah, because he didn't, I guess, feel any certain way about them earlier, but he didn't hate them. That's for sure.
He wasn't like, we gotta get rid of these dudes, these little assholes walking around helping me build my church of technology and a demon mountain.
Right. It's so weird that the first story is him wanting to obliterate them, even though they're evolving, right? Yeah. Which is interesting. But
and he made gold Jesus, for God's sakes, man.
He did. Gold fucking Jesus. I'll tell you what, we'll have to do an Adam Warlock focus show at some point. Like,
this is your life, Adam Warlock, because it's going to be more complicated than any one that we've ever done before.
Yeah, well, so my memories of buying comics in the late 80s, early 90s is I just happened to be buying Silver Surfer, not realizing that it was leading up to Infinity Gauntlet. So I was all into the like rebirth of Adam Warlock, and he was the coolest guy ever to young KMac when I was reading those. I was like, holy shit, but I didn't know anything about any of his prior stories, except that he was trapped in the Soul Gem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are exactly his powers? Because officially, I don't know.
I don't know. Gold Jesus.
He's Gold Jesus, man. He just shoots up on Gold Jesus, baby. I'm Adam Warlock, yo. A-dub.
not
Bow
so
down.
much.
I'm taking on the man beast.
Yeah, not so much a huge fan of how they portrayed him in Guardians, although it wasn't terrible for what the story was. But yeah, like my Adam Warlock love comes from those Silver Surfer Infinity Gauntlet issues. But I couldn't hang out through Infinity Watch. I only got the first 3 or 4 issues of that.
Yeah, it gets pretty rough.
Yeah, it does. It does. I mean, you can't have one character hold the Infinity Gauntlet for too long. It's no fun. You can't write stories like that.
No. Non-omnipotent characters are no fun. Even Gold Jesus.
Right. Even Gold Jesus.
Unless he's like those Jesus figurines where he's like playing sports with the kids and just like hitting homers off of them or dunking on them.
Yeah, or if he's in the children's animated Bible.
Yes.
That'd be great for Gold Jesus. Or not animated, but illustrated, sorry.
Yeah, the illustrated Bible.
Yeah. Well, that brings us to the absolute best part of this annual series, which is the awesome backstory of the High Evolutionary. It was batshit crazy. That's all I gotta say. Like in my notes, it's just I have this happens and this happens, and I was like, this is where it gets fucking crazy.
Run through all 11 issues as like an 8-page in the back. You read them, and yeah, it just goes all over the board, man. Where starts out as a geneticist, it's kind of a fuck up. He makes a V8 engine that can evolve people that people don't like.
Yeah.
And then he's like, he gets kicked out of college, and then he gets the human genome from a guy that has like glowing eyes, who may or may not be Mr. Sinister.
Yeah, I didn't. Was that supposed to be Magnus?
It turns out to be, according to Marvel fandom, it is the Inhuman Fader. But I thought it was Mr. Sinister because
much cooler.
Because he studies Nathan Essex's papers to come up with his V8 evolutionary engine thingy.
Oh, is that like a retcon that happened later on?
Well, they talk about that's not covering this one, but this is the time when Mr. Sinister's already come out, right? And I thought that was, and he's in England, and I'm like the whole time, he has glowing eyes and he wears a big cape, he's got a top hat, so you're like, it's got to be Mr. Sinister. But according to the Marvel fandom, it's Fader, but I've never seen that confirmed other than on the Marvel fandom. I've never seen it in the pages or whatever. So I'm officially saying it's Mr. Sinister.
I like it. Heard it here first. It's Sinister.
Because it's got to be right.
Right. Yeah. I mean, that would make sense. Same period of time, same work.
He's living with his mom. He's a scrub. So yeah. and then he's like, has the brilliant idea. He makes a buddy at some conference in Switzerland, and it's like, hey, let's move to Eastern Europe. I got land. Yeah. My wife's got land in Mount Wundagore. We can go here.
Yeah, and those people happen to be Jessica Drew's parents, Spider-Woman's parents. So crazy. But and like to get the money for all this, first he kicks his mom out of the house and rents it out to get money, and then he just sells his mom's house.
Yes.
Like this dude's mom, her house was the seed funding for all this High Evolutionary bullshit that happened in this crossover.
His mom's house paid for him to become a god.
Exactly. So crazy.
That's a pretty good return on investment.
I think so too.
I mean, that's approaching, buying a house in 2000 now and selling it, or buying one in 1960 now and selling it. That's kind of the return you're getting. because you got to be a nigh omnipotent god. Yeah, the Druze, right? They eventually join Hydra and become Hydra agents, don't they?
Oh, do they? I didn't know that. I guess that makes sense.
Yeah.
Is
If I
this a
remember right.
retcon of any of their origins or no?
I don't think so. This is
So Jessica Drew's born just after World War II? Is that
as
what?
far as I know.
Wow. So the spider serum is what kind of kept her.
Kept her alive.
So
They put her in stasis. Yeah.
they put her in stasis and they gave her spider serum because she got radiation poisoning from what all of the what were they mining in there? They were mining
Uranium. Yeah, yeah. That's how they make their money. Is like, oh shit, man, this is right after the war, and people need uranium to make bombs. So we loaded up with it, and oh yeah, we got a bunch of underground earth molloids who will just mine it for us for no reason.
Yeah. So, and it seems like Sinister brought those guys to him as well, right? Is that
Yeah,
then? Since that was the same person.
yeah, yeah. As far as I can tell, he's like, here, yeah, I've got you a whole army of people here.
I'd like to see a
So,
story where Sinister steals all of his work.
well, they've appeared where Sinister tried to get his work from him to make an army of animal people to help fight for him, and High Evolutionary once again refuses because he doesn't want to. He likes the things he creates. They're not just puppets for him, So they've appeared in comics twice. Like the High Evolutionary gets kidnapped by Mr. Sinister, like once at least on that one.
Okay.
So then you have the whole thing where Magda comes and gives birth to the twins, Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch,
Right.
and
That's crazy too.
And then Miss America and the Wizard come and they adopt them, and then
No,
they get rid of them.
no, but
And
they
then they
don't like they like the Miss America's kids
yeah,
die in childbirth and they
yes.
try to like fool
Mhm.
Whizzer and pass the Maximoff kids off as
Mhm.
the twin she had. And he's like,
Yes.
fuck no, I'm getting out of here, and runs as fast as he can. And they just give the kids to gypsies. But then eventually I guess they come back because Bova ends up raising them.
We chooses benevolent gypsies to give them to.
Oh yeah, of course. Not just any gypsies.
Yeah, yeah. Benevolent gypsies.
Gypsies.
And then you have the whole issue with Wanda getting Cathoned,
Mm-hmm.
and the
Oh
whole
yeah.
thing where the werewolf next door comes and helps out.
Right. And then the werewolf, the and the werewolf calls
He-
Cthon because he's reading
and
the
he
Darkhold.
and he kills Jessica Drew's mom. So, yeah, the werewolf next door. You know who it is?
It's someone related to Jack Russell, right?
Yeah, it's Jack Russell's great ancestor or whatever who becomes a werewolf by night. Crazy.
It's crazy. But so after Jessica Drew's mom gets killed, the father leaves, but then gets possessed by an ancient wizard named Magnus and comes back and hangs out for like decades or
Yes.
something. So
Yep.
poor John Drew like isn't in control of his body for like 20 years or something.
That's what makes you want to become an agent of Hydra.
Yeah, I guess so. Like that's what happens when you wake up and realize 20 years have gone by.
Yes.
Shit. Yeah, this story is batshit crazy.
And then he goes on, defeats Chthon because he has animal knights who are trained in chivalry by an ancient
Right.
wizard. Then he goes on, transcend humanity by, becoming one with the universe, and decides that's not good enough. That's too much. So he comes back down. He dials it back a little bit. That's my favorite. He eventually can. He's like, I could become the ruler of the universe. He's like, yeah, I'll dial it back and just make my own gold Jesus. I want to make my own Earth.
That's funny.
And he makes Counter Earth.
Yeah,
To put
makes
all the
Counter
animals
Earth. Yeah,
on.
Counter Earth is a pretty cool concept. I like that. I don't, other than a few things here and there, I've never read anything with Counter Earth.
You got to read the early Adam Warlocks in there because that's all they're set in. And it's,
Yeah. So
And the
is
weird
he
thing
the
about
creator of Adam Warlock? Or I thought the
he,
what is
it's
the
the
Pegasus
hive, the
project, right?
complex. No,
Uh,
it's
it's
they
the
had the
Hive. You're right.
conclave. The conclave
Okay.
is the conclave or the hive or something to that effect.
Okay.
But he is the one that gives them the information to do it. And that's a retcon in this thing. I think that they talk about that. That they do it. I think it's the hive. I remember right.
That
But
I think
they make
I
him,
think that's
the
right.
Enclave. The Enclave, yeah. It's a group of scientists. Yeah. And it's him, and they make her too also. So
that's right. Yeah, because her ends up bringing the evolutionary back to life later.
yes. And just the randomness. Yeah, there's a good story where I read with the formation of Counter Earth, and it has Mr. and Mrs. Impossible in it.
Oh,
It's
really?
pretty good. Yeah, with their wackiness. It's another one where the evolutionary is not bad, it's not good, and he's just kind of a force because that's the one where he's trying to mine Galactus for information, and like of all things, when he's able to take on Galactus, which is pretty impressive. Because all he has is his mom's old house in England that he sold. Some uranium from
Because like
moloids.
Galactus doesn't want the house. Maybe he'll take some uranium though. I don't know.
But it's pretty good comeuppance for a scrub that lived with his mom, man.
Right.
He wound up on top.
So what is the High Evolutionary up to today?
Well, I think they've, just because they released Guardians of the Galaxy 3 and they've made him, more features as a bad guy kind of thing. He features briefly in Annihilation, which came out in the mid 2000s.
Yeah.
With Adam Warlock and in him having to help stop the Phalanx event that is Annihilation Conquest. That they're coming for his creations also.
Yeah, I remember post House of M when Magneto lost his powers and the X-Men were all on Utopia. I think the High Evolutionary helped Magneto get some form of his powers back, which would have been, I think, a little bit after Annihilation, but I think that's the last I've read with him in it.
And then James Gunn took the thing and made him dirty and make Rocket Raccoon and kill animals, which is
boom. Yeah. No, I don't like that. I mean, it was good for the movie, but But yeah,
that's in the movie they didn't describe why he had the handle on his helmet. So
I know. You gotta. I mean, obviously he's a cool guy and understands practicality if he has a handle on his helmet.
Yes.
But yeah, he was like he had too much rage in the movie.
Because he doesn't really ever exhibit much rage.
No.
Even in the Evolutionary War when he's losing out, right? So yeah. Let's see. So the most recent entry on the fandom is the Kraven the Hunter went to Wendigorn Mountain and hunted the Newman down.
Oh no!
In order to draw out the High Evolutionary out, he made a deal with the High Evolutionary to create 87 clones of him.
Is that? I guess that's a Spider-Man story.
I assume. Let's see. But once again, it's an Amazing Spider-Man story. 15. But once again, he does that because he loves his creations. He doesn't hate them. So that was 2019.
Okay. Interesting.
And of course, Wendigorn Mountain features prominently in Doctor Strange: The Multiverse of Madness. And the whole time I was rooting, where's the High Evolutionary? Where's the Newman? Where's the Newman?
Yeah, because that's his spot. But he was in space. We learned later.
Yes. Yeah. I got my uranium. I got my moloids.
Mm-hmm.
I got my next door neighbor werewolf. There's somewhere there's an ancient magician ready to inhabit people for me.
Yeah, just floating around, ready to inhabit someone.
So I have not watched the Madam Web movie. Jessica Drew's in that, right?
Oh yeah, that's right. I think so. Yeah, I haven't watched it either. I don't anticipate I will, but maybe.
I think you're going to watch it multiple times. It's going to be your favorite movie of all time.
Probably.
After Kraven the Hunter 2.
Yes. Well, yeah. I mean,
it'll be it'll go number 3, KMac movie all time, Kraven the Hunter. Number 2, Madam Web. Number 1, Kraven 2.
Yeah, I mean, we can just pencil in, not even pencil, we can use permanent marker to write in Kraven 2 is my favorite movie of all time.
Kraven 2, Kraven More Hunting. That's
more
what it's
hunting.
called.
Yeah.
Kraven More Hunting.
Yeah. Yeah, too much hunting. I don't know.
So,
all right. So we'll want to talk about our overall thoughts for this crossover.
yeah, I will just touch on this briefly because we always do these things when we do the big swigs and we do it with the masterpiece, looking for reviews, and everybody's reviews are the same on what the best part about this is, and they all have fond memories because it's the first of the annual crossovers. That's
Yeah.
Nobody else says anything else about it. They're like, yeah, there's some boring parts, there was some good, but it was so cool to have a crossover in the annuals. That's what everybody says. And I think that's my number one takeaway is, it's an interesting gimmick to get kids to buy the annuals, which, they probably didn't buy before because they cost more and they were 64 pages and all that good stuff.
Yeah, I think you're right. It's very nostalgic, and it's nice to have, nice to be able to read this and then think back to when, to a time where there weren't crossovers all the time. So when there was a crossover, it was like, holy shit, like there's a crossover happening, even though it's more of a loose crossover. There's not really, the characters from each book don't really interact with each other, but yeah, I think the nostalgic aspect of the crossover is really fun and really cool.
Yeah, the crossover, no crossover aspect to it. That's my favorite part of it. So yeah.
Yeah. So, what's your favorite issue?
I'm gonna probably go the X Factor, the one to kick it all off. I just thought it was interesting. And this is when I think you saw the A team doing the X Factor, Walt Simonson leaving everything up, and just really good.
Louise Simonson.
Yeah, and then Simonson, and then the costumes look really good and everything. So yeah, I think that's probably the best issue.
I like that too.
And then probably the X-Men after that one.
Yeah, my favorite was the X-Men.
Yeah.
Obvious reasons. Did you have a least favorite issue?
I'm leaning either the Punisher or the
they had a crocodile tank.
I know, or one of the Spider-Mans. The one with Gwen Stacy, the Spider-Man with Gwen Stacy, that made no sense. Like you're gonna job out the memory of Gwen Stacy by bringing out like a clone that's not a clone, that makes no sense. And
yeah, that's probably where I'm leaning to, with a close runner-up to being, I think, Silver Surfer. Although I did love learning about the atmosphere of the Earth. It was like Meteorology 101, but
yes.
but not really very much happened in that one that I think was relevant to the main story.
Yeah, it's Silver Surfer annual number 1 and the Spectacular Spider-Man number 8 annual. Yeah,
yeah.
I mean, they put Gwen Stacy on the cover to get you selling comics, and it's just not that good. Just not that good. And you get a Sal Buscema cover and a young Mark Bagley doing that one. So, but that overall,
yeah, they kind of sold out on that one for sure.
But that's where I'm rolling in.
I would completely agree on the Spectacular Spider-Man being the worst issue of this crossover series, because you got those other weird superheroes that we don't even
the new gods
know who they are. Yeah, whatever.
Or the young gods.
I don't. Who cares? But those guys,
the shit gods.
Yeah, that's what they're called.
Yeah, and High Evolutionary, a lot of gimmicks, gadgets. What'd you like?
Ooh, that's a tough one. I think I like the gadget for no other reason than that it was just weird. Whatever the hell they were using in that Web of Spider-Man issue, where they're down in Miami and they go to the Everglades and they plug some reality warping thing into the ground, and like half his guys turn to mush and it messes up the man thing, but it's all like weird and freaky and groovy. Like I don't even, it was just like a bad LSD trip for everyone involved. And I have no idea why they did it, but it seemed like a really cool gimmick and gadget.
When you're going to the Everglades, that's what's going to happen to you.
Exactly. What about you? Did you have a favorite gadget?
Well, you got to go with the original gadget, his V8 evolutionary machine, man. The thing looks like he stole it out of a 52 Triumph and just just get that thing going.
Yeah, he wheeled it up on. It had wheels. It had wheels though.
The thing only gets 8 miles a gallon, man.
You know how long it took me to get it here?
I don't know how many animals it makes, but it's terrible fuel efficient.
Makes one dog man.
Yeah, and he's able to make it, literally in his basement.
So he's living with his mother, like that poor lady's electric bill at the time, right? She's probably like, oh, what's the High Evolutionary's name? She's probably like, Herbert, what are you doing down there? My electric bill is twice the pounds it was last month.
I lived through the Blitz. We had less blackouts during the Blitz. Damn it.
Who would have thought with a V8 engine that you could mutate up, animals into people, though? I had no idea. We had a Pontiac Bonneville when I was a kid, and it had a V8 engine. If I had only known.
Like, you've been in the garage a lot more.
Oh, yeah.
Dad, can we get a lift for this?
Yeah.
Can you give me the cat?
Pookie, what are you doing?
Come here, man. We're going to crank this out. We're going to evolve you.
So your favorite cover, I'm assuming, was the Avengers cover?
All right.
I love talking about favorite covers. It's
either the X Factor, the first one, or the Avengers one.
Yeah, my favorite's the X Factor.
Yeah, I'll probably lean towards the X Factor too. I think it's a great cover because it's Apocolypse is new. It caught me as a kid.
Draws you in.
Yeah. And then either Avengers and then the X-Men because that's just quality art.
Yeah,
and
Art Adams.
And then maybe the New Mutants after that, or the Avengers West Coast. Yeah, the Art Adams is really good though. Yeah,
I don't remember the New Mutants cover. I will Google it.
I can pull it up. Here's the New Mutants was done by.
Oh, it's Magma on the cover, isn't it?
Yeah, it's June Brigman and Bob Michelov.
Yeah, I mean that's okay. I guess that's.
I mean, of the covers, it's.
Yeah.
I mean, I said it's fourth. It's not going to the top. I mean,
yeah,
it's no slug cover.
It is no slug cover. That's what I'm looking for right now.
Yeah.
And has the slug been around very much? I don't think so, right? I think they kind of just abandoned that guy.
So this is 88. So he wouldn't have been in the handbook of the Marvel Universe because that was the last one they released. So he doesn't have a whole lot of appearances after this, I don't think. I think total appearances of the slug and his fat and his asphyxiation. Let's see.
Yeah, it's an interesting character to have, a kingpin of sorts in Miami.
Mm-hmm.
It feels like a character that would be in a Hawkeye solo book, right?
Yes. Definitely solo Avengers villain.
Right.
Yeah, he makes some more. It looks like he was in some Moon Knights. He's had 48 appearances.
Wow, really? Good for him.
Yeah, he gets around despite his girth.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he reappears in Dead Man's Hand miniseries with Daredevil, Nomad, and the Punisher.
Oh, I started buying that. Did you read that?
I've read them all. I own them all, I think.
I that's when I quit collecting. Like, I don't remember why. I think I got into girls. So
1992, officially July 1992, KMac got into ladies.
Got into the ladies, yes. Yeah, I think that's what happened.
Whereas Yek was like, they made a Nomad series?
I need Nomad comic books.
They made a Nomad comic? I'm reading that shit.
Dead Man's Hand. Masterpiece Comics Theater coming up. Dead Man's Hand.
Oh, yeah. We got to do a Dead Man. There's only 3 issues. Yeah, it's a pretty good one.
There's only 3 issues of it?
It's what's like maybe 6. I don't know if they do 2 and 2. I can't remember. But it's a great title.
It is. And
part 5. Okay, so there's more. I think there's 6 parts to it.
Didn't they have Gambit cross over into a Nomad book? And Nomad had the best, like, 80s
Them
hairband hair.
them books is saying, oh, I got the best hair in this world. Nomad, you cannot say born with me.
I was super pumped. I was super pumped about the Nomad books when they first came out, and I was kind of disappointed. But
and then ladies
happened, and then there were the hey ladies. Yeah,
but yeah, that's where I roll in with. I don't really have any fave of the issues. I think it wins the day with the X Factor one. I think easily, and then my beer went well with this one. I am sufficiently tipsy and
evolved.
I evolved enough to understand, I think, what went on with the Evolutionary War, but I don't quite understand it. But when I wake up in the future tomorrow, I will.
You will. That's good. You'll have to let me know.
Yes.
Because I'll still be here. My beer pretty much just to recap, it's called Harder Than You Think. And obviously, High Evolutionary's plan was harder than he thought to accomplish because, he got super close, but then he was ultimately defeated by a ragtag group of backup Avengers. So, harder than you think to drop a gene bomb.
Yep. You think gene bombs are easy,
you do,
because of all the times they've been done afterwards, but everybody knew, this was the first one. It's always hard to do something the first time, so
yes,
especially when you have Yellow Jack number 2 coming in on you.
Heck yeah. And I guess evolved Hercules, if I read that correctly.
And Jocasta.
And Jocasta. Get you every time. All right. Well, if you you're gonna close it out with the outro. I can do my best. So if you enjoyed today's show or this evening's show, whenever you listen to it, you can send us an email at cbcopodcast@gmail.com. You can, of course, check out our Twitter X handle, which is at cbco_podcast, and tweet at us, like our tweets, follow us, let us know what you think, and then we post funny pictures and other things on Instagram at comicbooks_cold ones. And of course, you can please rate us 5 stars wherever you listen. We'd really appreciate it. Obviously, we're available wherever you can find podcasts. Did I get it all, Yek?
Yeah, you nailed it all. You got all the bases again. Thank you so much. Right. You have evolved into a perfect outro, man.
I did it. I can feel it. I'm glowing.
You are no longer the low evolutionary. You're definitely the high evolutionary. So.
Oh, thank you.
Or at least medium scale.
Medium evolutionary. That's medium
evolutionary.
Yeah.
All right, everybody.
All right, take care. Thank you all for listening.
Bye. Anthropomorphic creatures